My family ignored me for years. At Thanksgiving, I casually mentioned my 160 million fortune. Their faces were priceless. Lily had learned to live in silence long before she learned to spell her own name. Growing up in a house where love was a currency she could never afford, she quickly became familiar with the role of the invisible child. Her sister, Sophie, was the chosen one, the golden girl, the miracle everyone admired. Their parents ran a thriving insurance company, and every penny they earned went toward polishing Sophie's future. Lily's future, however, was left to fate. At 9 years old, Lily stood on the driveway and watched as her parents surprised Sophie with a brand new BMW for her 18th birthday. The crowd cheered, cameras flashed, and Sophie cried from excitement. Lily stood in the background, wearing secondhand shoes that pinched her toes. That was how life always was. Sophie went to private school with labs, iPads, and field trips to Europe. Lily went to a public school that still used textbooks from the 90s. When Sophie needed a tutor, her parents hired one instantly. When Lily asked for a new laptop because her school computer crashed during homework, her parents told her to find a way to make do. And she did. While Sophie took piano lessons and spent summers at art camps, Lily spent her afternoons teaching herself how to code using a borrowed library computer. She built small apps, fixed bugs for classmates, and slowly realized she had a talent that no one around her noticed. When college admission letters arrived, Sophie got into Yale. Her parents threw a party, invited the entire neighborhood, and decorated the living room with blue and white balloons. Lily got a full scholarship to the University of Connecticut. Her parents barely looked up from their emails. But Lily did not complain. She packed her bags and quietly left the house, determined to build a life on her own terms. At UConn, she built her first real product. It started as a simple inventory tracking tool she coded for a local store, which paid her $6,500. Instead of celebrating, her parents told her it was cute. That moment lit a fire in her. While still in school, Lily developed her company, SupplySync, a cloud-based logistics platform that connected small businesses with vendors. She worked nights, coded for hours, slept on library couches, and lived off instant noodles when things got tight. By the time she graduated, SupplySync had thousands of users and was catching the attention of major investors. Her parents still barely acknowledged it. She stopped telling them anything after that. By 28, she had scaled SupplySync into a multinational operation. When a major tech corporation bought it for $280 million, Lily walked out of the meeting with her head held high and her bank account sitting at over $160 million after taxes and reinvestments. And her parents still thought she worked somewhere in IT. She never corrected them. She had something bigger in mind. The Thanksgiving reveal, for the first time in years, the family asked her to come home for Thanksgiving. Lily almost declined until she realized Sophie would be there, and her parents would undoubtedly spend the entire night praising her. So she went. Dinner began as expected. Sophie dominated every conversation. Their parents bragged about her new apartment, her engagement ring, her recent promotion. Lily sat quietly at the opposite end of the table, unnoticed as usual. That changed when Sophie said, "So Lily, do you still do that little computer thing? What is it again? A website?" Lily set her fork down gently. "It was a company," she replied calmly. "I sold it." Her mom looked mildly amused. "For how much? A few thousand?" Lily smiled. $280 million. The room froze. Forks stopped midair. Sophie's mouth fell open. Her dad blinked at her as if she had spoken in another language. Lily pulled out her phone and casually showed her account summaries. Numbers her family had never imagined flashed across the screen. Her mom choked on her wine. Her dad turned pale. Sophie looked as if someone had slapped her. "You are lying," Sophie stuttered. "No," Lily said. "You just never cared enough to ask." The revenge. Silence hung in the air until her dad whispered, "But we thought you were struggling." "You thought wrong," Lily replied. Then she reached into her bag and pulled out a stack of envelopes. "One for each of you," she said. Excited, they grabbed the envelopes, already imagining the checks inside. Except the envelopes did not contain money. They contained documents. Legal documents, cutting them off. She had just purchased a controlling share in their insurance company. Quietly, legally, completely, and she now owned it. "I bought your company last month," Lily said calmly. "All of it." Her dad's jaw dropped. Her mom gasped. Sophie grabbed the papers, reading every line with shaking hands. "You cannot do this," her father whispered. "I already did," Lily replied. She stood, gathered her coat, and looked at the three people who had ignored her existence for most of her life. "You taught me how it feels to be invisible. Now you get to feel the same." She walked out of the door with her head high and her heart steady. From that moment forward, Lily never looked back. She did not need their love. She did not need their attention. She did not need their praise. She had built an empire without them, and now she owned theirs. What would you do if your family ignored you until you became successful? Would you forgive them or teach them a lesson? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Twisted Revenge Tales for more stories like this.